What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys have had a great turkey weekend, and I know I did. Hey, so I hate the term toxic masculinity because it's not that anything about masculinity is toxic. There's just toxic people. There's just toxic guys. Same thing with femininity. It's not toxic femininity. It's just some women who happen to be toxic. And that's a big thing in this world. So I want to talk about the difference between toxic masculinity and biblical masculinity. So I want to jump into it here. So Augustine of Hippo says, right is right, even if no one is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. The In today's day and age, biblical masculinity is talking about what it is to be a man. It tells us who was what. We see the goods and the bads, with everyone in the Bible, and it points us back to Jesus and how he was absolutely perfect, how he is absolutely perfect in every way, and how we are meant to strive like him. So let's see things that he does. So when we are gonna do things in the biblical sense of what it means to be a man, the world's going to tell you the exact opposite. That's where this toxic stuff comes from. That's where we get lost. That's where we lose ourselves. That's how we end up getting further from God, further from who we're supposed to be, and all those sorts of things. So if the world tells you to do it, pretty good indicator that you should not do that. You should do the opposite. Or you could just, spend that time reading the word and then you can find out exactly what it is that you are supposed to do because we have a really good guideline of what we're told to and not to do. And it really helps us in our everyday life. So, William Jones says the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. Change who you are, man. Just it takes time and it's a process, but change and allow the good aspects, the good traits and the characteristics of yourself and what you want to be. Work on those and become the better version. You can change. Voltaire has a few good ones. He goes, God gave us the gift of life. It is up to us to give ourselves the gift of living well. We are given that free will in the very beginning. You get to choose what you do with it. You want to listen to the flesh, the toxic stuff that we're talking about, like the red pill community, and anything that in the world that says do what your heart says. It says go ahead and do what's fun, hang out, sleep around, have as much fun as you want to. You can have as many girls on the side as you want to. Just make money, just build your status, just do this, that, and the other. And that's all. And even those that sounds great, and there's not really it's not that all those are wrong. Certain things are like having as many girls as you want. That's bad. That's wrong. That's not biblical, and it doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make common sense to have more than one. So that's what the world's going to be telling us. But when you can find those things, it's like making money. Nothing wrong with it. Great. Do it. Have fun. Finding that passion, playing that instrument, being you know, a an ice skater, a dancer, a painter, whatever, you have passions and there's good things in the world and there's wrong things that you can do as well. So let's stay away from the negative things and find the positive good ones that you can be doing. Voltaire has now another one that says every man is guilty of all the good he did not do. Are you doing what the world says and giving into that fleshly lie, lust crap? And again, that's what the world's going to push on you. And I know it's what pushed on me my whole life. It's what's pushed on every guy I've ever talked to my entire life. Same thing. It's like, here's this stuff. Do what you want. This is what it means to be a man. And it's not. It's meant to be a toxic, evil person, a worldly person. It is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. Do you love your chains? Do you love your vices, your addictions, the things that keep you crumbling? Because if you have those, you are living on your knees in a very bad sense, holding on to chains that you could easily let go of, but you're holding on to them because they give you just a little bit of a hit of something good. My hope and prayer for you is that you are willing to let those chains go, that you're willing to give all that over to Christ and say, here's all my problems, here's all my everything, here's my pride, my arrogance, my self-hatred, my anger, my everything. Here's all the things. I give it all to you, God. And I that's my hope and prayer for everyone is that you're willing to do that. But if you're living in those chains, it's kind of hard to get you out if you don't want to. if you aren't even willing to voice that. I know it's hard to get out of them. I get it. Believe me, I was there most of my life. But being able to voice that to someone and say, hey, can you help me out? I need some help getting out of here. That's when we do it. That's whenever the work begins. All right, jumping into Galatians 5:22-23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. So we were given of all the things like the fruit of the spirit is one of my main, if not probably like the first thing I would say for any guy to go to learn to be a man from the Bible. Those nine traits, those nine fruit of the spirit, find those, work on those, find out what that really means and how you can incorporate that into your everyday life. And that would be the first I tell like one the first, I mean there's many, but that'd be one of the first things I'd say, learn these, work on these. Like self-control, that will take you forever to work on, and you're always going to be working on. I'm still working on that, and I still fall short every single day of things that I want to do, and I just don't have that self-control, or I just get weak in that moment or something. From where I was, where I am, insane polar difference. Where I am, where I'm going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and a decade, can't even, is a completely different person. But it's going to take time. So those are biblical. The those are the traits. Those are the That's what it means to be a man right there, is to have and to understand and to apply those to your everyday life. Jeremiah 17:9-10 is the heart is more deceitful than all else and is especially and is desperately sick. Who can understand it? I, the Lord, search the heart, I test the mind, to give to each person according to his ways, according to the results of his deeds. Again, the world tells you follow your heart, all that crap. It's not true. It's not even in the Bible. It literally tells us that it is more deceitful. Like that, your heart is the flesh. The flesh is run and controlled by the enemy. So if you listen to your heart, that means you're listening to your flesh, which means you are doing what the enemy tells you. And he's going to say, here's your distractions. Here's that. That's going to keep you entertained. That's going to get you distracted. Just stay here living in this sin. And that's all I need. I just need you to not be sacrificing your flesh. I need you to not be getting closer to Jesus. I need you to not be doing the things that you should be doing. And that's all he's got to do, is just say, here, look at this little shiny object. Matthew 6, 24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth. It says wealth, I'm pretty sure different translations say different things. Like, you know, uh, I completely forgot to even look at that. But it's not just like wealth, because money, but that kind of stems back to not just wealth, but to pride, to power, to having that control and whatnot. So you can't serve God being the ultimate being and anything else. If it's either God, and then you let what he's going to guide you and direct you in that and everything else, or you're going to follow this other thing that's going to be some kind of a God, little g God. You're going to be following that. You're going to be believing in that. That's going to be porn. That's going to be drugs. That's going to be alcohol. That's going to be women. That's going to be social media, TV, name it. It's all going to be a distraction and keeping you from where you should be. Romans 7:15, I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate to do. That one hurts a lot because it's specifically describing our flesh and our spirit. Twice now that I can remember, I've been in a situation where I've had and like legitimately felt my flesh and my spirit, and I'm pretty sure my guardian angel, trying to pull against each other, like internally. Like I could feel a physical and a spiritual war going on in two different situations. And it was whenever I was doing very worldly things that I shouldn't have been doing. And when I felt my flesh just pushing in to do more of it. And like I could internally feel like something trying to pull me back, but I kept, wanting to go in because I was listening to my flesh back in those days. And so it sucks. It hurts. I don't recommend it. It is not fun. It really sucks and it really hurts. And I'm still learning because I've had to go through it twice apparently to learn the lesson. First Peter 5:8, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. He's always there. He's always looking to get you off track. He's always looking to distract you and to keep you from becoming who God created you to be. And all he has to do is just throw a little bit of little stake in front of you, and then he's got you. And then he's just got to keep doing that same thing over and over. So watch out. Like he's out there and he is trying, and he's doing a very good job, unfortunately, of distracting us, of getting us out of where we're supposed to be, of feeding our flesh. That's why it is a battle. That's why we're told, to carry our cross and to sacrifice our flesh. So it's not that something in itself is toxic. It is people. It is the spirits that we give control over us. It's either the Holy Spirit or it is an unclean spirit. You are going to either choose to want to do and be better and go through that journey, which will be every day for the rest of your life, and you'll get a little bit better as you go, or you will continue to live in the chains that you apparently are revering and you care about more. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act like it's not hard. But there's the answer. It's question, why am I doing this? Well, here's the answer. It's flesh and spirit, and you're going to be fighting one and giving into the other every single day. So that's kind of up to you. Whenever you need help, whenever you need something, reach out, find me, someone else that someone nearby that can help you out. But the flesh is this toxic masculinity concept, if you will, and biblical masculinity is the spirit is doing what is that God wants us to do, and He is trying to help us to understand. So that's my idea for today and this time. I hope that was able to be helpful. I love you guys. I'm praying that that good things happen for you, and that the chains that you're holding on to, that you let them go. All right. I love you guys.